If you clicked on this video, it probably got recommended to you through a series of machine learning algorithms that have a single goal in mind, and that is to keep you watching. When these algorithms were created or born, I like to say born because of how lifelike they've become, creators began to exploit them and manipulate them in order to push their videos and articles and art pieces to the top of their respective websites and thus in front of the most eyes possible. And that's fine when the creators are for television networks, the medium is television, and the algorithm is the interest of the audience. But in the age of the internet, when anybody from anywhere can upload anything, then that creates a problem. As more and more people create more and more content, they must resort to more drastic measures in order to, retain your attention throughout their piece of content. I hate the word content and what it's become. And my hands are stained with blood here too. You can take a look back at the last 9 videos on my channel, this being the 10th, and the style is wildly different from this because my whole goal was to grab your attention. And I think people are tired of that. So you can multiply me by 1 million, 2 million, 10 million, however many people are creating pieces of work on the internet, and multiply that across multiple platforms and television and news, and you get to the heart of the problem: overstimulation. Have you noticed that recently you felt a little bit more detached than normal, or at least more detached than you feel like you should be? Do you ever watch films like Good Will Hunting or Juno or The Breakfast Club and just long for a simpler time when all that mattered were the relationships that we were able to form with those in our local community? I'm not trying to do some meta-analysis like, ooh, technology bad, let's all go back to the nuclear family and old school capitalism, McCarthyism vibe. Rather, I'm just trying to get at the ideas that we were sold through the media that we consumed in the early 90s and 2000s, and earlier than that, and later than that. Ideas of connection and freedom, of prosperity and community, and the triumph of love over hate. Where did that all go? Not the media, but the ideas. It feels like I'm glued to my screen most of the day, just trying to find some evidence that these things still exist in our world. I watch my favorite sports teams and then I interact with other fans online. I watch my favorite comforting TV show and then I interact with other fans online. I watch my favorite content creators and then I interact with other fans online. I watch and I interact and I watch and I interact, and the day ends and then I wake up and I do it again. I'm glued to my screen 24/7. I'm obviously being dramatic. I have some friends. I attend a university. I have some interest in hobbies outside of direct media consumption, this being one of them, if you can call it that. But I still do the other stuff too. Is there something wrong with me? Do you go through that same cycle too? If yes, then why? And I don't exactly know why either. Actually, I feel like it would be disingenuous for me to sit on this side of the camera and act like I have it all figured out. I obviously don't know all the answers to to society's problems, but I feel like I have a good guess about this one. I think that we have been sold something that through our current economic system is inherently unattainable by default. We have been sold different connections to nature, connections to each other, connections to ourselves. Our consciousness has been commodified, our attention a means for a profit. You can pay money to go to a zoo, to be connected to animals that we all once lived alongside. You can pay money for a plane or a train ticket or gasoline for your car that is extracted from the earth to visit your friends that live across the world. You can pay money, $100+ weekly, for a therapist, somebody that is supposed to help you cope with these realities. And for the price of your time, you are sold media that ignores these issues in favor of an ideal existence that we all by nature desire. How does this all relate to overstimulation? Well, take those complaints I have and draw them out over hundreds or thousands of pieces of media that we all consume on a monthly or sometimes yearly basis, and we're bombarded with these thoughts of what we could have but don't. We could have nature, but we don't. We could have community, but we don't. We could have access to ourselves, but we don't the majority of our waking life. And our desires for improved conditions are satiated by these pieces of media that lull us, that tell us that it's okay, don't worry, the underdog always wins in the end. But the underdog doesn't always win in the end. Our material conditions don't always improve. Isn't it grating when you scroll past your 1,000th thumbnail of Mr. Beast in a private jet eating millions of dollars of food while your pantries aren't full? They haven't been for weeks because your EBT benefits don't cover the cost of groceries, and that's the only option you have because you're a student and you can't work. It gets grating. So, have you noticed that recently you felt a bit more detached than normal? Because I felt that too. The idea that maybe despite our conditions, we can improve our lives and achieve the ideals that we aspire to, that idea dances between the leaves of the trees we plant next to highways we pave through forests. And then we're confronted constantly with this battle for our own attention. We know it, we see it, we understand, and we lose every time. And we get swept away. And I can't offer any solutions. I can only say that I relate, unfortunately. This video is basically a coping mechanism for me. I don't know what I want out of life. I don't know what I want out of this channel. Do I want to entertain? Do I want to inform? Do I want to enlighten? Whatever that means. Does it even fucking matter what I want anymore when I'm constantly faced with the things that I don't have? I don't know. I guess all I want right now is connection, community. The media that has sold me these ideas has not delivered, and I'm here to collect what is rightfully mine, what is rightfully ours. I hope you'll join me.